Okay, alright guys, welcome back to another tutorial on how to create a to-do list using a PHP programming language. So for this tutorial, what we are going to do, we already started the layout and we are done with the front end of our application. So what we are going to do, we are going to create the brain for this program using a PHP programming language, and we are going to script this application using back end. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, I want to create a new folder and I want to call this thing app. So inside this app, I want to create a new file which is going to be the initializing file for my application, so that I can connect the database here, I can start the session, and I can request this file at any place in my application and I can use it. So let me create a file called init.php. So the first things first, I want to start a session. So I'm just playing a trick that I'm not going to create a login or logout kind of system. I'm just going to initialize a session called a user ID, and I want to make this thing to be 1. Okay. So what I'm going to do, if not is set $_session called a user ID, I'm just simply gonna kill the page by passing a message that says sorry, you are not logged in yet. Okay, so with that being said, let's directly jump into our browser and let's try to create the tables and the database that we need for this application. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a database and I'm going to call this thing to-do list, and I'm going to create this database here. So inside this database, I'm going to create tables. So the first table is going to be a user table or users, and it's going to have 2 columns. The first one, which is going to be the ID for the user, and which is an integer type, and again it's going to be an auto increment, and I can set this thing to a primary key, and the other thing is going to be the username, and I'm going to say this a username, and it's going to be a varchar, maybe a length of maybe 60, and that's it. Okay, and I'm going to save this table. The other table that I need for this app is going to be the table name is going to be items, and the first name is going to be the ID, and which is an integer again, and it's going to be an auto increment, and again I'm going to set this thing to be a primary key, and the other is going to be the name, which is going to be the name for the item that I will add. Let's set this thing to be 70 here, and the other thing is going to be maybe done, whether it's going to check whether we have done the item or not. So it's going to be a boolean, and I'm going to make this thing to be a tiny int, and the length to be 2 maybe, and the last one is going to be created when this item was created, and it's going to be timestamp maybe. Okay, where is the timestamp? Here, and that's it. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to save this table as well, and we will be ready to go. So what we are going to do right now, let's directly jump into this. Let's try to insert some random files here. So maybe for the users, let me try to insert maybe a username of maybe a here, and let me insert this one. So for the items, let me try to insert maybe a name of like have to study for master's exam, and for the done I'm going to leave this thing to be blank. For okay, what's happening there? Let me try to browse it anyways. Yeah, for the creator it's going to be the right now, which is going to be the time here. And also let me add another more, maybe go to shopping, sorry, and let me make this done to be one that I have got to shopping. For instance, for the timestamp, let me make this thing to be now, right now, and let me go. Yeah, that's pretty good. So if I browse, I will be having two items, the first one which is not done and the next one which are being done. So let me come into this index, and the first thing that I will do is require that init file. So I'm going to require once app / init.php. So in init.php, let me try to create a connection. So let me have db, and for this tutorial I'm going to use a PDO, which is going to be PHP data object, that you can make any type of database kind of queries. You can also make a prepared statement using this class, which is a PHP data object. So I'm going to use a MySQL drive, and the host is going to be a local host, which is going to be 127.0.0.1, and the database name, just forget what was my database name here, myeni underscore to-do list. So it's going to be myeni to-do list, and the other is my credentials, which is going to be my username, which is root, and for my case here, the password will be like empty. So using this variable here, I can make a query, I can make a prepared statement, I can do whatever I want. So let me come to my index here, and let me try to create an item query here, which is going to be the database, and I'm going to use a prepared statement here, and I'm going to say select. Before that, let me try to check what I supposed to have another field in here. Let me edit the structure, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to add item here, because I'm supposed to have a link between the users and the item table. So let me make this thing to be the user, and it's going to be an integer, and I'm going to save this thing out. So what I'm going to do in the users here, I got the items, and let me update this part, and let me make the user part to be 1, thinking that the user that have been logged in currently is going to have an ID of 1. So let me do the same thing for the other field, and let me edit this part, and let me make the user to be 1, and I'm going to press go. So with that being said, let me jump into here, and I'm going to select the ID, the name, and the created, and beside what did I get more, and the done from items, right, and where the user is equals to, I'm going to make this user. I'm not going to insert the value, rather I'm going to use a prepared statement, so that I'm going to execute this thing later. So let me come here, and let me make the item query to execute, and I'm going to set the value for the user to be $session, which is going to be the user ID. So I guess I'm running out of time, so I'm going to do the couple of next things that I have to do on the next tutorial. So till we meet on the next tutorial, keep on liking, keep on subscribing, keep on sharing my videos with your friend. Peace and love, ciao.